Good evening. My name is Mike Ikem Umalo. I attended a conference a few weeks ago, and the question that came up was a discussion about Nigeria. We're looking to answer the question, what is really the problem with Nigeria? Fortunately, we didn't come out with, an answer, I would say, but we did have a very informative conversation. It was very enlightening. However, I did notice that a great many Nigerians, all across the board, not just any section, a great many, have not realized the importance of telling themselves the truth. And when it comes to Nigeria, we talk about the giant of Africa. Giant in what? Probably size, yet it's not the biggest in Africa. Maybe in population, okay, fine. But that population should mean something. The human capital. And then what about resources? What about wealth? Nigeria is the richest country in Africa. So how come Nigerians are living in abject poverty? Many have said that because Nigeria has walked away from God. Well, that's a fair argument, but then Nigeria remains the most religious country in Africa, if not in the world, today. With 250 million people divided between Islam and Christianity, we cannot say the problem in Nigeria is religious or spiritual. That would be too infantile to even consider. But I have, it's not a solution, but it's not even a thesis. It's my opinion. If you look at Nigeria being the giant of Africa with all the resources that anyone can think of, both human capital and mineral resources, the wealth of Nigeria is amazing. Yet, when you see Nigerians moving to places like South Africa or Rwanda, many tend to forget that Nigeria actually funded the struggle against apartheid South Africa and helped that nation to achieve majority rule and dismissed apartheid forever. Now, if you look at Rwanda, many Nigerians that I know either traveling to Rwanda to holiday or even to work or to leave. And that's even sad. Why? Because Rwanda is a nation that survived the genocide, and the leader of that country, Paul Kagame, was able to bring that nation and the people of that nation together. So when you look at all these, you begin to realize that there must be something Nigeria is not doing right. From all index, we see that Nigeria is a poor nation, despite the wealth. So what could the problem be? When you look at the Civil War, taking cue from the Rwandan genocide and how much Rwandans have done to their nation to, step away, move away from that history, not forgetting it, but be able to rebuild to the point that Nigerians and other African nations, people of other African nations are moving to that tiny Central African nation. You see that Nigeria has failed to move away from the nightmares of its civil war and its ongoing campaign against a section of the country. I think, in my opinion, that's actually what is keeping Nigeria down. And I think that Nigeria will never be able to achieve its full potentials until it has restituted to the Igbos of the Southeast. It's not a course, but there is no way. You will kill over 3 million people, reduce them to 20 pounds per person who had a count, even if they had millions. And then you move ahead, you move forward the country. It's not possible. That is what is holding Nigeria down. We have had military regimes, they failed. We have had dictatorships, they failed. We have had, since the past 25 years, a democracy that is failing the people and continue to fail the people. So what is the problem? Nigeria must go back to its drawing board. Nigeria must be able to apologize to the Igbos of the Southeast. Nigeria must be able to, and not just Nigerian government, but the people of Nigeria from across every tribe. They must be able to say to the Igbos, for the genocide of 1967 to 1970, for their atrocities committed against their people, we are sorry. And then we must level or ensure a level playing ground that will bring in people who are genuinely committed to nation building. People who know exactly what to do, not just to come in and grab people, public wealth and, move away. People who will commit themselves the way they commit into building their own personal, businesses. They should be able to be allowed to come in. And then when I say the people, I'm talking about the Igbos, the Nigerian people, the Nigerian government. They must stand up. They must be able to speak up. And that's the problem. Many people are, afraid to say the truth. But I am not afraid. My name is Mikey Kemumalo. How can I be fearing any man at this age? It is not possible. I'm a young man. But I have seen, I have traveled, I have studied, I have learned, I have worked. And I continue to travel, I continue to learn, I continue to study, I continue to work. And when I look at Nigeria, let me tell you this. We must let Nigeria be Nigeria to Nigerians. But I'm afraid Nigeria will never be Nigeria until Nigeria and Nigerians come together to say to the Igbos, sorry. Allow a level playing ground so that Igbos, in particular, will assume their rightful position in the country. Igbos are not immigrants clutching the hope to be Nigerians. Igbos are like young men full of strength and hope, but tangled in that diabolical, endless chain that is called Nigeria. That's why Nigeria is not moving forward. How can Nigeria move forward? When an Igbo farmer works, they pay to government officials to even approve the slightest government support, which never comes anywhere. If you travel through the Igbo highways, you will see the number of police checkpoints extorting the people. I think unless and until Nigerian government and the people of the rest of Nigeria are able to come together to achieve the maturity that is required and say to the Igbos, we are sorry. Nigeria will never be. Nigeria will never achieve its true potential until they do this. If they say they no go do okay. How many years since independence? How far? And you guys don't want to think of a solution? And each year, every 4 years, we elect the same type of human beings. And somehow you believe in magic. The true problem of Nigeria lies in the very dark past and the ruin that they brought upon the Igbo nation, in spite of the fact that the Southeast, largely, and some other places have achieved tremendous growth since then. So I think, in my opinion, Nigeria will never be Nigeria until Igbos receive a full apology, compensation, and restitution from the Nigerian people and from the Nigerian government. Otherwise, we'll continue to circle around, run around, and waggle our tails like bunch of cats against each other. My name is Mike Ikemumalo, and I just have to say this.